Hey YouTube, this is yugioh here with my July ban list predictions for 2015. I just wanted to start out by saying that I am an experienced player. I've been playing for years. I actually went to the 150th YCS that just happened here in Columbus, and I got to watch a lot of really good players. I wanted to point out the top 32 decks here for you really quick. I'm not really gonna talk about Ritual Beast because I don't really think that they're relevant. Dang it. I don't really think that they're relevant to the meta and what we're going to be talking about today. It's not really relevant to any of that. But I want to focus on these top ones: Necros, Burning Abyss, Cliffort, Stellar Knight, Satellar Knight, and Shadows. So let's get started. The only card I have that I think will be banned is Jin Releaser of Rituals, and the reason is really quite simple. It's just a card that makes it so that your opponent can't play. If you get it off first, your opponent's not going to be able to special summon, and you're probably going to win the game unless they have an out for it, and there's not a whole lot of outs. I mean, you can say, oh yeah, well, we have 2 Dark Holes and people play Book of Eclipse and Book of Moon, whatever. I still think it's a bad thing for the game. Alright, I'm going to move on to limited cards and semi-limited. The first card I have that I think will be limited is Necros of Brionic. And the reason I think that this card's going to take a hit is because it's one of the main power cards of the deck as far as being able to search pretty much anything that you want out. I think Manju, for the same reason, being able to search out any ritual monster or any ritual spell card is just, it's too good for the Necros, and limiting it to 1 will kind of slow it down a little bit. Same reasoning with Senju. I think it just needs to slow down the deck some. Trishula, I think, needs to go to 1, and my reason for that is because if you get Trishula out on your opponent, you're probably going to win that game. Or if your opponent gets Trishula out on you, they're probably going to win that game. There's not much coming back after you get Trished, and it just really sucks. Denko Sekka, I think, needs to get hit to 1 as well, maybe even get banned. It's so powerful for the top decks like Shadows and Necros. I mean, they can use it with no drawback whatsoever, and all the other decks can't use it, because if you're playing Satellar Knights or Ritual Beast, you use a ton of traps, and using Denko just would shut your own deck down. So yeah, he needs to take a hit. There's not a whole lot of outs for him once he hits the field. I mean, yeah, sure, you can say, oh, Veiler, or now you could say, you know, oh, you can play Regeki or Dark Hole, but I mean, you have to have those in hand. There's not a whole lot of outs for him. So the only card I have for Burning Abyss is Skarm, and the reason being, I still feel like Burning Abyss is really powerful deck, and this would just slow it down a little bit. It's the Searcher that lets you get Tour Guide, lets you get any Burning Abyss card. Just very, very powerful for them. Lose 1 turn. This card shuts anything that likes to special summon down. If you play Ritual Beast, it's gonna stop your Ritual Beast plays a lot. If you play Satellar Knights, it's gonna shut that down. If you play Necros, it's gonna shut that down. So I think the same thing here applies with Vanity's Emptiness. It's just really powerful and needs to be at 1 and maybe even banned. I wouldn't say banned yet because it's too new, but it does need to get limited. Cleefort Scout, I thought this needed to go to 1 last format, but they never put it to 1. So if it went to 1, it would just kind of slow Cleeforts down a little bit. I still think Cleeforts are very, very powerful. You saw there were 4 Cleefort decks in the top 32, and there was 1 in actually the top 4. And it goes to show that because they can play so many floodgates and they can just do so many plays so fast, taking Cleefort Scout to 1 isn't going to shut the deck down. They're still going to have their summoner arts, and they're still going to have their pot of dualities if players are using that. I'm not sure many Cleefort players use that, but they use a lot of floodgates, and getting stuff going with the deck is not that hard. So next card I have being limited is Satellar Knight Deneb. I also had this being limited last format. It's just it's way too easy to plus off of. Every single time it comes out, you plus. Altair special summons at U+, you normal summon at U+, you can call the Haunted at U+. Just, I think, too overpowered. Satellar Knight Trevor, this guy is a giant Trinade on legs. I don't know how he wasn't limited, or at least hit in some fashion before now, but Giant Trinade's been banned for quite a while. This guy not only does Giant Trinade, but he also gets a card out of your opponent's hand. It's so good, especially if you're a Satellar Knight player, because you get all your Fiendish Chains and your Call to Haunteds and your Oasis back into your hand. You get to use them again and again and again, and the cycle is pretty much an infinite loop. It never ends unless you can banish this guy. I mean, he floats, so he's going to bring out another monster after he dies. And Altair, just because he is the main card that gets the loop going again and again and again. If he was put down to 1, the deck would still be good, but I don't think that it would be such a nuisance like it is right now. El Shaddoll Construct, I think, needs to go to 1, just because Shaddolls will be so powerful if Necros do take these hits that I'm predicting are going to happen. El Shaddoll Construct is just it's a lot of easy plays to get OTKs with El Shaddoll Fusion. It's a big monster, it kills any special summon monster. Easy to get out too. El Shaddoll Fusion, it promotes OTKs. You can play it on your opponent's turn. Very powerful card. Getting it back to your hand, being able to do so many things with it. I don't have the regular Shadow Fusion on here. I still think it's really good, but if you limit this in Construct to 1, I think we could at least experiment with it, but I don't think that they would be as big of a problem having 3 Shadow Fusions and just the 1 El Shaddoll Fusion. The last card I have limited to 1 is the Star Seraph Sovereignty, just because it's so easy to plus off of this combo, so easy to get like a Deltaros play off and go +2 because you blow up something with the stick and then you blow up something with Deltaros, or you can do a first turn Ouroboros and just take something out of your opponent's hand, and so they have to start out with 5 cards even though they're drawing, so they would normally have 6, but now they're down to 5. And you're getting this huge monster out with no cost or no drawback. So that would be my last reason for having him limited to 1. Last slide is questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I would like to have a discussion with anybody who thinks that I'm wrong. I ask that you be respectful in your comments and don't put anybody down. Don't say that I don't know what I'm talking about. My first video that I did, I got 6 of the cards right. I don't know if I haven't watched any other videos to see how many cards people get right, but I feel like 6 cards right last format was pretty good, since this guy pretty much told me that I didn't know what I was talking about. So don't come out and say you have no clue what you're talking about. You have no clue how Konami works or Yu-Gi-Oh works or whatever. Just show the respect. Thank you.